Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Pat Live Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another issue of Mortal Realms magazine. As per usual with all these videos though, if you like them, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and as per usual, drop a comment down below because I do appreciate every comment I get and I do try to get back to everybody as soon as I possibly can. Now, this week we're on issue 48 and we have a decent one here. We have Reikenor the Grimhailer on his ethereal steed. 2 sprues. It is a quick build kit. I stand by my judgment. Easy build stuff people kind of dismiss as being just cheap, nasty, plonk it together, bugger it off and everything like that. There's actually a decent amount of detail on this model. And a lot to do on it, and it's pretty decent. The idea with the easy builds is that you just literally slot them together, get going with them. No fiddling about, no gluing loads and loads of little bits and pieces here, there and everywhere. They've got the process of kind of the moulding down to a point where they can literally just do that, where they can kind of help you get going a bit quicker and everything like that. So not a bad thing. And a pretty decent model, like some of the other quick builds as well. They are pretty decent. They have a decent amount of kind of detail behind them and everything like that. Right, going into the actual issue itself, of course, we're greeted with Reikenor the Grimhailer. So, once a sorcerer king with great knowledge of death magic, Reikenor ran afoul of Nagash. In his undeath, the Grimhailer has been cursed to serve Nagash's as Nagash's chief reaper of souls. So let's give a bit more context here. So in his mortal life, Reikenor sought to use his arcane power to overcome death. By using the light magic of Haish, he hoped to end all mortality and usher in a world without death. As he undertook a grand quest to gather knowledge on this subject, Reikenor drew the ire of Nagash and was cursed to serve the god in undeath. So, Reikenor, when he was alive, was a mage and was a wizard and was trying to kind of do the age-old thing of trying to thwart death and kind of make it so nobody dies. You know, quite a noble kind of thing to do. However, doing that when the god of death is Nagash is a bad idea. And Nagash obviously, not happy about that, as, understandably he would be because it's Nagash, decided to curse him and then subject him to be the Reaper of Souls. As a Reaper of Souls, of course, he is causing death and he is collecting souls for the underworld and for good old Nagash. So yeah, it serves Reikenor kind of about right for kind of trying to undo good old without giving Nagash his due, essentially. So, not the cleverest thing to do. I wouldn't want to risk it personally if I was a mortal in the mortal realms. Grimhailer, we've got a few bits and pieces. So of course that scythe, it is the Fell Reaper. So the edge of this enchanted scythe can cleave through armour, flesh and bone. The steed is Kylaron. So Reikenor's steed, Kylaron, is a nightmare, a fierce and deadly undead creature. Has hourglass and bell trinkets, so hourglass of course representing the fleeting nature of life, and the bell tolls for those whose time it has come. Corpse candles on there as well, so when extinguished these candles snuff out the lives of mortals and empower Reikenor's spells. Steed has ethereal wings, so it's essentially kind of like a ghostly Pegasus, really, and of course ghostly hooves as well, which is pretty cool. Very interesting model, quite cool, because it's all pre-sculpted as well. With that base, you don't have to do a lot to the base, just paint it and have fun with it, which isn't too bad. Going on to the next page, we have more information about realms, of course, and being about the realm of metal shaman. So, in the Age of Myth, of course, there was Grungni's gifts. So, after being freed from his bondage by the god King Sigmar, Grungni fashioned the 19 wonders of Shaman. His exertions are such that his breath mingles with the dust of his forges to form sky-born clouds of ether gold. Amongst his creations are the steel city of Marazdrang, the cog people of Odsin, later disowned after the winding storm, the world Hearth, and has perfectly straight god-wrought aisles. So, giving you a bit more information about the actual Age of Myth and how kind of like going through everything, and of course how the God King kind of rested in Shaman and helped Grungni kind of prevail and kind of free him from his bondage at the hands of chaos and stuff like that as well, and kind of a bit more bits and pieces. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. So, and of course, being in the realm of metal, there's a lot of cool, awesome little etheric metals like shamanite. So, which is kind of like quicksilver, like realm stone. He's discovered it in abundance around the areas. And of course, because it's a realm of metal, it wouldn't be a realm of metal without the Dwarden being around there as well. So the Dwarden of the Age of Myth were expert craftsmen, dedicating their lives to mining rare metals and mastering metallurgy and forging. Stout, stubborn and powerful Dwarden also make excellent warriors. They have a strong belief in the importance of oaths and honour. So, if you're interested in your Dwarden and everything like that, of course, and you haven't already, there are some great books, mainly the Gotrek and Felix saga and stuff like that. Have a read of them. They're brilliant. They're really, really good, and it does show exactly how important oaths and honour are to the dwarves and stuff like that, just in the shape of Gotrek and his kind of abilities and everything like that, and his beliefs, and the kind of crazy adventures for them to get on to, which is pretty cool. Got a bit more information about Chaos, which is the Blades of Khorne. So Khorne, of course, being the Blood God, and who sits upon the Skull Throne and everything like that. So kind of a bit more information about him and the armies of the Blood God, of course, which is always pretty good to see, and gives you a bit more of a kind of a glimpse into everything. So, of course, the servants of the Blood God can vary. So there are demons, there are mortals, and there are bloodbound. So the bloodbound are drawn from a small number of mortals who possess the brutality and strength of will to gain Khorne's favour. So, and these are big kind of like armoured buggers that you'll see quite regularly and everything like that. Your mortal ones are kind of you're not so heavily kind of armoured and everything like that as well. So pretty good stuff. Nice to see some more stuff of that as well. Bit more information about the cities as well. So we are literally seeing a bit more information about Hammerhal Gyra. So of course, Hammerhal being the city that is twin-tailed, so it stands in Gyra and Akshi as well. So so spanning two realms and having its own kind of population in both, straddling across a realm gate. So with a lot of other bits and pieces, there are quite other bits as well. There is a line of infantry of the Hammerhal's three guilds, which is Gold Jackets, and they're famed for refusing to retreat even in the face of impossible odds. Loads of cool bits and pieces about them. Greywater Fastness as well, but it's just some cool information about them. Greywater Fastness also has a massive prison around there as well, which is yeah, always fun to hear about. But there is a really good book that mentions Greywater quite a lot, but does not venture into there that much. Yeah, how to build a Reikenor. I say it's an easy build model, so it is literally all push fit, so you do not need glue. However, there are fragile components, so do not push too hard and do not break it. Have fun with it, be very, very safe with your clippers, and make sure you trim off any excess plastic and everything like that. But then you can get it going. Do it in sub-assemblies, as I said earlier. So do your steed, and base, although I would do the base and then the steed and then kind of mix them and it should work, and then do Reikenor himself on top. And that's probably the best way to do it. You had to paint pretty easy, do it in sub-assemblies as it says. So Reichnor, the way of painting Reichnor is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. The same with his steed as well. You're not going to go too far wrong, I don't believe, following this method. I personally, I think the look of it's not too bad, but I don't care for the look of it. I think it could be better. There's something that's missing, but it does have a decent look to it. And if you've been painting your Nighthaunt the way that the magazine's been telling you to, and kind of going through, it'll fit in very, very well. You've got your War Scroll for Reikenor the Grimhailer as well, so of course he has that Fell Reaper and Ghostly Hooves and Thieves, which have their own ranges and everything like that. Also, being a wizard, has a couple of magical abilities, which is mainly the Wraith Storm and stuff like that, which is pretty decent. So pretty decent to have that War Scroll, and it's pretty handy for you. And then of course you can kind of have your good old battle report and everything like that, and your battle plan, which is spread over 3 mats, and it's quite a big battle really. So you've got Reikenor the Grimhailer, Guardian of Souls with the Nightmare Lantern, 4 Grimghast Reapers, 4 Glaive Wraith Stalkers, 15 Chain Rasps, 4 Mireborn Banshees, and 3 Spirit Hosts. On your Nighthaunt side, because that's quite a lot of models. On your Stormcast, you'll have your Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger, Xandria Azure Bolt, 5 Sequitors, 3 Castigators, and 3 Evocators. And it is literally the first of 3 objective points. So, yeah, could be quite good fun. Pretty decent battle, and quite, as per usual, it looks like the Nighthaunt just outweighs the Stormcast, but of course Stormcast have more kind of resiliency to being attacked and everything like that as well. So very, very good stuff. Quite interesting to see, and should keep you having a bit of fun, and everything like that. So definitely pretty decent. Next week we get issue 49. We have Administratum Grey and White Scar paint. Pretty handy, as I said I think it was last week. White Scar tends to get a bit watery, so it can be a bit of a pain in the backside, unfortunately, but it's still a pretty decent paint. It's a lot brighter than Corax White. And then issue 50 we get some more Azurite Ruins, more scenery stuff. I'm not going to lie, I've got a backlog of all the scenery stuff to paint up, because it's easier to spray paint it, far easier. If you spray it, you can paint it in no time at all, and then it's just a case of dry brushing it and stuff like that. So yeah, or using washes or anything like that if you wish to. So yeah, far easier to spray paint. Anyway, right, I've kept you all long enough. Thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and sub and everything like that, and if you want to, drop a comment. I'm happy with that. Right, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the very near future. Bye bye now.